Hey crafty friends, it's Rick. Today we are going to make a super cute fun fold card that's super easy to make, nice and festive for Christmas, and let's get into it. Hey crafty friends, today we are making a super easy fun fold card. But I'm going to use the Let Nature Sing, or Heaven and Nature stamp set. There are coordinating dies with this. We're using this from Pajama Crafter Stamps. That's what I'm going to use today for my card. I did make a card using the Baking Spirits Bright stamp set, and also there is coordinating dies for that also. I will show you the card that I made with this a little later, so stick around and check it out. I've got some pattern paper from my stash. If you're watching this on my channel, you'll find all the supplies listed on the visual supply list when this video goes up. But we've got our pattern paper. I've got a piece for the inside of my card. I've got a 1 inch by 4 inch piece for the outside and a 2 inch by 4 inch piece. I've got a 3 by 4 piece of white for the inside of my little fun fold. I've got a 4 by 5¼ inch piece for the inside of my card. I've got another piece of pattern paper that coordinates with this other two pieces. This is cut at 5¼ by 4. I've got my 2 pieces of cardstock. My regular card base is 5½ by 8½. My fun fold part is 3¼ by 8½. So we're going to go ahead and score our pieces. So I'm going to score my regular card base. Since it's 5½ by 8½, I'm going to go ahead and score that at 4¼ my card base. For my little fun fold part, it's 3¼ by 8½. We're also going to score that at 4¼ Like I said, this is a super easy fun fold. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the insides, our inside pieces. So we're going to set all that to the side for a second. We're going to start off with the inside of our card. And I am going to stamp the lantern. You will also need another piece to stamp and color your lantern and bird on. I've already done that off screen to save some time for us today. We're going to take that, and I'm going to stamp in just some Distress Oxide ink. I'm going to stamp in Crackling Pistachio because it's the nice light green color. So go ahead and stamp that one more time. Got a nice impression. I see I just missed a little spot there. Go ahead and remove that. I'm going to take my sentiment that I'm going to use for the inside. And I'm going to stamp that in VersaFine Clair because it's a nice dark ink that will go over right over that Distress Oxide ink. We're going to stamp Let Heaven and Nature Sing on the inside. We can still write over that, so don't worry about that. Now, I didn't mention this, but the coordinating dies, you can cut out the poinsettia separate and the little bird separate. Along with the lantern, you can cut everything out. So if you wanted to stamp multiples of these and color them and have different dimension, you could do that. All right, let's take our little piece right here. So our inside of our fun fold part. And we're just going to simply add a sentiment to that. I'm going to stamp this in a red oxide ink. I'm using Lumberjack Plaid. And remember, stick around to the end and I will show you the other version of this card. All right, let's go ahead and we'll put our insides together. So we're going to use our Barely Art glue, get it out of my cupcake glue holder. So as I'm working on this card, I actually broke my Barely Art glue. So I'm getting the last little bit out that I can, and we're going to end up having to switch to a different glue in just a second. You can see I'm struggling to get the glue to come out, and it is what it is. Sorry about that. We're going to go ahead and pop that down into place and get it nice and straight. And we will go ahead and readjust that to make sure it's straight, because you know we never get anything straight. Now you can add your designer series paper in there if you wanted to. I'm going to save that for something else. All right, we're going to close our card base, and I'm going to give it another little swipe with the bone folder, because if you want a nice crisp crease, we're going to go ahead and attach our piece of designer series paper to the front. I'm having glue technical issues. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attach down my pattern paper to the front of my card base. Make sure it's nice and lined up. I'm going to secure that into place. And then I'm going to pull in my little fun hold part. I'm going to go ahead and attach the inside of that using my Lawn Fawn glue tube, because that's what I had to switch to. And I'm going to go ahead and just attach that in the inside of the center of the fun fold part. Nice and even on both four sides. We're going to go ahead and close that, give it a nice little press with the bone folder to make sure it stays closed. And we are going to attach this to our card front. So we're going to go ahead and add our glue and go ahead and attach that down right in the center. You want to make sure you're even on all four sides as best as possible. And there we go. We're going to take our 1-inch piece of pattern paper. We'll add that to the left-hand side, making sure you leave a nice border. And then we'll take our 2x4-inch piece and butt that right up together. Make sure they're even. Now, here is my Heaven and Nature stamped out image that I've colored using my markers. So we're going to add that to our card. And I'm going to lay this on here because I don't want to get glue at the bottom down here or off the edge. So I only want to get glue on this where it's not going to hang off. I'm going to put glue right there. That down. It still opens. All right, we're going to take a Jelly Roll pen. We're going to add some highlights. All right, for the highlights, we are going to add highlights to the ring at the top, the little bumps that hold those in, and along the edges of the lantern. I'm also going to add some to the leaves, as well as to the poinsettias and the birds, and I'm going to add just a few to the candles. I like a lot of highlights. I'm going to go ahead and white the eye of the cardinal. I'm going to add those little highlights along the candle into his back and wings. And then I'm going to add just a few more here and there. And that will be all of the highlights, except for I'm going to add some to the berries in just a second. Just little dots in the berries. Very subtle highlights on the poinsettias. All right, so there's my little fun fold. It has a little fun fold on the front. Plenty of room that you can write a message on the insides. Here is the other version that I made using the Baking Spirits Bright stamp set. I hope that y'all give this fun photo a try, and I will see you guys in the next video. Remember, stay crafty.